Well, they used to be the bustling heart of a community, but right across the country, suburban shopping strips are dying. These days, there are more for lease signs than there are shoppers, and family businesses that thrived for decades are closing their doors.
We're struggling. There's for lease signs everywhere.
There's no way people are gonna come. They need to do more.
It's been quite sad to see a lot of businesses closing, a lot of cafes and small businesses. It's definitely kind of decreased the vibrancy.
Once home to bustling businesses, now many along Norton Street are fighting to stay afloat.
We've lost the Italian vibe, you know, it's not like it used to be.
Known as the heart of Sydney's Little Italy, thousands of migrants moved to Leichhardt in the 1950s for a better life.
People would walk around with their families, their children, with their prams, and it was just fun.
Gina has been running this clothing and toy store for 50 years.
It was all like milk bars and fruit shop. My uncle owned a fruit shop. It was really a fantastic time. But now things have changed.
Today, it's a ghost town. Michael from Happy Seafood now sad because there's no mouths to feed.
It is not fair. It's always fall back to the small business. You know, family, mom and dad who are working hard. There's no traffic. And by saying that, also the economic is not improving too. A lot of the produce that we can get it, mostly so expensive.
More than a dozen empty shops have for sale or for lease signs, some sitting vacant for years.
I think landlords are getting greedy, and businesses that have got the landlord who keeps putting the rent up have to put their prices up on their food and inflation, and I feel for them.
Con owns Bar Italia. He tells me his landlord has been understanding, but the business owner next door wasn't so lucky.
He put her rent up and she moved down the road. The space has been empty now for a year, so he's got 1 year of no rent.
One of the major problems has been a significant number of landlords who are not willing to keep their properties tenanted. They're using them as a tax write-off.
Inner West Council Mayor Darcy Byrne is frustrated some landlords are keeping their businesses empty rather than risking a lower return.
For all of the other property owners and business owners along the strip, when you have 4 empty shop fronts like this for such a long period of time, it has a detrimental impact on their livelihood as well. And it really brings down the tone of the entire main street.
This is the Italian Forum. It was designed to be a cultural hub, a place where people could eat, drink, shop, and even live. This place should be full of customers, but now it's eerily quiet and has become a symbol of urban decay. When was this place thriving?
For the first couple of years after it opened at the turn of the century, it was really fun and vibrant and interesting. But it's been a long time since then. And the fact that everyone knows that so many of the shop fronts are empty and have been for a long time makes it difficult to turn things around.
The Mayor is now calling on the New South Wales Premier to introduce a vacancy tax so landlords would be rewarded for leasing to local businesses.
We're simply trying to reduce rates for Main Street property owners who keep their shop fronts tenanted and pay for that by increasing rates by the same amount for landlords who are not doing the right thing.
I agree. Yes, do it. Just don't talk about it. Just push it.
The vacancy tax makes sense to me. You need to be rewarding small businesses over people who are just leaving their shops empty.
But the New South Wales Small Business Commissioner argues it's not a silver bullet for bringing back the streetscapes, and one solution would be to approve more residential developments to build a client base closer to stores.
The council should be considering making parking and everything a lot easier so people will come.
Bring in musicians, craft fairs, make it like a marketplace, where there's markets and people bring stalls out.
The number of businesses who want to lease retail properties in the area has dropped by 23% compared to last year. Sadly, this isn't the only shopping strip feeling the pain.
Not long ago, A Current Affair visited Mario, a restaurateur from Ipswich, west of Brisbane, who took his frustration to social media.
This is what's happening to our country. All the way along here, empty. Empty shops. This country is a joke. Absolute joke. We can do better.
Back at Norton Street, small business operators here just want a fair go.
You can't squeeze an orange when there's no more juice.
It's draining us. Landlord doesn't help, council doesn't help. They need to work up something.
It's a tough problem to fix, isn't it? The New South Wales government is promising to look into the issue, but with a state election coming up in March, nobody's expecting much to change anytime soon.